Hello, Chess2. Welcome back. So yesterday in class, we played chess bingo. We went over some new mate patterns, and we talked about creativity in chess. In this video, we're going to focus on the creative element in chess. So what is that? What is creativity in chess? How is that possible? Well, we're going to look at an example of a grandmaster, Nigel Short, one of England's top chess players. And we're going to look at his game against the Dutch grandmaster Jan Timman, and we're going to explore the creative side of chess. But first, I wanted to mention that, we learned principles about king safety and material and piece activity. But sometimes those principles need to be broken. Sometimes you need to think outside of the box and recognize when to follow chess principles and when to go against those principles, depending on the demands of the position. And sometimes you have to be creative in chess. Sometimes you have to look for creative solutions to problems. And in this game, Nigel Short versus Jan Timman, Short found a beautiful idea, a very creative idea with his king. And you would think, well, why with this king? The white king, Nigel Short was white, Jan Timman was black. White's king safety looks pretty good, right? It looks pretty safe, tucked in here in the corner. Yes, black does have a queen and a bishop on this diagonal. So if this knight ever moves, let's say this knight moves here, the queen is going to have a checkmate in 1 on g2. Black has a couple of rooks. So there are some heavy pieces on the board. And we're taught in chess that if there are a lot of pieces on the board, you don't want to bring your king out too early because it could find itself in trouble. But in this position, Jan Timman found a creative solution. And we're going to take a look at Nigel Short's masterpiece in a game that he played in the early 1990s. So we're going to make some moves here. I'm going to ask you, what do you think Nigel Short was thinking about? What do you think his plan was? Nigel Short's first move in this position, this is towards the end of the game against Jan Timman. If you want to watch the whole game, just Google Nigel Short Jan Timman, and you should be able to find it. So here we have King H2. Nigel Short, Grandmaster Nigel Short plays King H2. And what do you think is going on here? Why do you think Short is playing, moving his king to H2? Well, black doesn't have much to do. So black is just shuffling his pieces back and forth. Black probably feels like it has a good fortress where the king is safe. And the white side can't really get at black's king. You have black's rook is protecting f7. We have a nice pawn structure here, creating a pawn shield for the black king. And so let's see what Short's idea is with King H2. Okay, now he's playing King G3. What on earth do you think is going on here? Why do you think Nigel Short has moved his king to G3? It was on G1, it moved to H2, and then now it's on G3. What do you think Short's plan is? What do you think his idea of moving his king out towards the center of the board with all of those heavy pieces on the board? Do you think it's smart for him to bring his king to the middle of the board with black's rooks, queen, and bishop still on the board? Well, let's see what Nigel Short has in mind here. Again, black is just shuffling his rooks back and forth. Doesn't really have much to do here. What do you think Nigel Short's going to do now? He's already moved his king from G1 to H2 to G3. What do you think Nigel Short is planning on doing? What do you think he's going to do next here? King to F4. He has now moved his king towards the middle of the board with black's heavy pieces still remaining on the board. Where do you think this king is going? And why do you think it's going there? If If you want to pause the video just to kind of think about it, you can do that. All right, next move. Now, black is tired of shuffling his rook back and forth. Black is going to go after this rook. As you guys know, rook is worth 5, bishop is worth 3. Does Nigel Short move this rook to safety? No. Nigel Short says you can have the rook, and he brings his king to g5. Are you guys beginning to see Nigel Short's plan here? Where do you think that king is going? And why do you think it's going there? Let's see. Bishop takes the rook. So Nigel Short just gave up a whole rook. Do you think Nigel Short is going to attack this bishop? No. King h6. So the white king has gone from g1 to h2 to g3 to f4 to g5 and now to h6. Do you see white's plan? Now do you understand why white did this king walk all the way to h6? Yeah. White's plan is to checkmate the black king on g7 with the white queen. So Nigel Short wanted the king to be a helper, to protect this queen to mate on g7. And is there anything black can do to prevent the checkmate on g7? There's nothing. There's a desperado maybe here, but that doesn't help white, or it doesn't help black. And white has a checkmate in 1 right here, queen g7. So Nigel Short found a creative solution to finding help for the white queen to get a checkmate. That was a beautiful idea, a creative idea, and this is an example of finding creative solutions in chess. And once again, we have this king walk. The king is just coming all the way to h6 to help support the white queen for a checkmate. And that is the checkmate. And that's a very famous game that Nigel Short played against the Dutch Grandmaster Jan Timman in the early 1990s, and a prime example of creativity in chess. All right, see you guys next time. Bye-bye.